Hello everyone, welcome to Codingaholic. This is the fourth episode of how to access system information. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to retrieve the system memory size information. My name is Tom Liao. I'm the speaker of this channel. To access system memory information, we're going to use the system.management namespace. But when talking about system memory size, we are usually referring to these four types of information: the total visible memory, free physical memory, total virtual memory, and the free virtual memory. The first two are referring to the actual memory installed on your computer, and the last two are referring to the paging file size allocated on your hard drive. If you don't know what a paging file is, well, briefly speaking, if the physical memory is running low when executing applications, then Windows use some disk spaces of your hard drive as memory space to keep your application running. That is called a virtual memory, and the space used for this purpose is allocated to a file called paging file. Usually a paging file is 1.5 times of the total number of your physical memory. Because if Windows encounters a system crash, then it can dump all data stored in the physical memory to the paging file, which could prevent you from data loss. Okay, let's go to Visual Studio to see how to retrieve these values with system.management namespace. Now I'm in the project created in the first video of this series. Let me double click on the RAM size button. Based on the name of the button, Visual Studio has created an event called btn RAM size click. Let me copy this line from the button 1 click event and paste them here. Let's change the description to machine RAM size. Now add a remark: get machine RAM size as memory size. We're going to use the system.management namespace. Okay, copy the using system.management and go to the top of the file, paste it here at the semicolon. But as you can see, beneath the word management, there's a red wavy underline. That means Visual Studio cannot find the system.management namespace. So we need to install it from the NuGet package. So let's go to the menu bar, find Tools, NuGet Package Manager, manage NuGet package for solution. And go to Browse, type in system.management. Okay, click on the first one, that's what we want. Select the project name you want to install this package from the list. Then click OK to this message box, and it starts to install this package. The installation is already done. Let's go back to form1.cs file. Okay, the red wavy underline disappeared. That means Visual Studio has found that namespace. Okay, go back to btn_RAM size_click event. To retrieve data from the system.management namespace is a little bit trickier than you use system.globalization to get the locale settings. Here is what we're gonna do. First, we declared an object query data type. We name the variable WMI_obj equals new object query, and then we pass in the parameter. Actually, we pass in a SQL statement, select asterisk from Windows 32_operating system. I name this variable as WMI object. WMI stands for Windows Management Instrumentation, because the system.management namespace is actually a rich set of management information and the management events of the Windows Management Instrumentation infrastructure. You can check on this page for more detail. Okay, let's continue. Declare a new object. We're going to use the management object searcher. And we name the variable _find object. Find obj equals new management object searcher. Then we pass in the WMI object. Then we use a management object collection to hold the result we get from the management object searcher. Collection. We name this variable as _range info. Equals _find obj.get. Then we are going to use the for each loop to looping through the range info management object collection to search for the object we need. Management object _range in _range info curly braces. Let me copy this line of code and paste it here. Change the description to total visible memory. Okay, here we change it to _range square braces. We're gonna retrieve an attribute called total visible memory from this collection, from this object. Let's add a KB here. Because the value returned by this parameter is in kilobyte. Okay, copy this line, then paste this down here, and change the description to free physical memory. Also change here to free physical memory. Okay, again, copy it again, then paste it here. Change the third description to total virtual memory. Actually, it should be total virtual memory size. Also change it here, total virtual memory size. Okay, copy this line, paste it here, change it to free virtual memory. Also change this physical to virtual. Okay, that's it. Let's run it. Click on range size button. Okay, here are the memory size values. Well, I think I would like to display those numbers in gigabytes. Let's go back to this line of code. Let's add convert that to double parentheses. Put the whole parameter inside the parentheses of convert that to double. and slash, let's divide it by 1024 times 1024. That will convert KB to GB. Okay, add a parenthesis outside the whole string and add that to string. And we want it to display as 2 decimal digits numbers. Change it to GB. Change all of them to GB. Okay, copy this line, paste it in front of those 3 lines, and copy that part and paste it at the end of the other 3 lines. Okay, let's try it again. Click on ring size. Now we are talking. It looks much better now. Okay, please welcome to my next video. Let's see how to retrieve the IP address of your machine.